News story tonight here at home. An early look at Salt Lake City's new and long-awaited plans to relocate homeless services. News specialist NICOLE VOWELL live for us right now with confirmation tonight the plans will include shutting down the downtown road home location. NICOLE, this is a big announcement.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming too, Deanie. Yes, the road home facility right here on Rio Grande Street will close, and city officials are expected to announce 4 brand new shelter locations tomorrow afternoon. This all coming from late word tonight from Salt Lake City Mayor Jackie Biskupski's spokesman. He says services here at the road home will be transferred after those 4 new shelters are up and running. At that point, the road home building itself will no longer be used for homeless services. This is all a part of a nearly 2-year plan in the making to revitalize downtown and reduce homelessness. Now, right now, we do not know where those 4 new shelter locations will be, but we are expected to find out at a news conference at the mayor's office tomorrow at 1 p.m. But we do know the 4 shelters here that are planned will hold about 150 beds, about 600 beds total. And just to give you some perspective, currently the road home downtown has about 1,100 beds. So a lot of questions to be answered about how this plan exactly is going to work. In speaking with the mayor's spokesman tonight, he says the plans for those 4 locations for the shelters are set. They are non-negotiable, but he says that they will take public input on the design and layout of those buildings. So a lot more to come tomorrow at 1 p.m. We're going to keep you posted right here. But for now, we'll send it back to you, Deanie.
All right. Well, look, they wanted feedback. Well, they got it. The Salt Lake City Council got an earful tonight from residents upset over the locations of new homeless resource centers. New specialist Andrew Adams was at the meeting and is live with the story. Andrew, you predicted a lot of emotion at this meeting.
And that was certainly true, Deanie. A lot of people in attendance, about 150 residents. So many residents, they actually had to put dozens in an overflow room. We heard a lot of frustration about the process. Ice on the outside. And on the inside,
I'm just really afraid of it.
Straight fire.
What you've done is wrong. It's been handled poorly from the beginning.
The trolley stop is going to turn into a sex and drug store.
Salt Lake homeowners came to City Hall to flamethrow over the 4 announced homeless resource center sites.
It seemed like it was announced with no backup plan as to why it's going to work and how you're going to pull the resources to make it work.
One site especially has residents mad.
I request council withdraw its support for the 653 East Simpson Avenue homeless shelter site.
But the process in general isn't without scrutiny.
And I think that's what troubles us all the most, is the lack of knowledge about this system.
The council says it doesn't mind hearing the frustration.
I really do think they have an opportunity to provide us with some feedback. We really do want to hear their concerns.
The city has set up 5 more meetings and workshops in the next 2 weeks.
We have a lot of opportunity to incorporate some design modifications, security, even the individuals we put in the specific sites hasn't been determined yet.
These residents want more than that.
We are going to fight this. And it's not because we don't care about homeless people or their plight. It's because we care about our homes.
Homes these residents hope aren't left in the cold by a homeless resource center.
So I hope you will reconsider, because I do not think this is the right place for one.
Even Salt Lake County Mayor Ben McAdams telling reporters today it was not a good idea not soliciting public input during the site selection process. City Mayor Jackie Biskupski affirming tonight that they did not want to pit neighborhoods against each other during this entire process. Back to you.
It sounds like the locations are still non-negotiable then.
Yes, yeah, she's saying that the sites are what they are.
All right, Andrew, thank you.
For those who live and work near Simpson Avenue and Sugar House, well, they're pretty relieved.
Yeah, news specialist Andrew Adams has reaction from there tonight. Andrew?
Deanie, people here fought hard. They organized. They came up with these signs that say, "No shelter on Simpson." Still, a lot of people here felt like this day would never come. On a street that many drive sits this shop, a destination for those who love to ride.
We end up with a lot of good relationships with people.
Philip Blomquist
everybody's happy in here.
Has preserved a way of life for decades.
It's just a wonderful business to be in, but this resource center had the potential to really harm us.
The Homeless Resource Center, Salt Lake City, wanted to build next door.
Nobody's been more directly impacted upon this thing than us in this particular location.
But suddenly, the city changed gears.
Sorry, that's Nate Salazar with the city. Maybe I can get a comment. Is that okay? Hey, Nate.
Phones started ringing.
Good. I'm literally standing interviewing with KSL right now.
It was official. There would be no shelter on Simpson.
I think they really did hopefully make the right decision. I mean, this is too much money wasted.
Neighbors were elated.
Maybe this will give a shot in the arm to the people who live here to do even a little bit more than they've done before.
This community's effort to stop a homeless resource center had been a tour de force.
It's time for us to do something else and to grow and expand this thing, and now we'll have the ability to do it.
Hope for the future inside this bike shop while preserving the past.
It'll be a win-win for everyone. The city, for residents around here, for our business. Yeah, it'll be a real positive, I think.
Seems most of the neighbors here were willing to give the mayor a lot of credit from backing away from the site. There is still the issue of the $10,000 in earnest money. A city staffer told me that lawyers are going over the contract and the city will honor what it has to honor. For now, back to you.
All right, Andrew, it was a long, hard fought. Thanks.
This is a great example of why when the government do not tell people in advance, then they come out to the public meetings upset about something that was seen as a final decision. Like, this is the place that we're going to put this homeless shelter and you have to accept it, of course, because there were like negotiations already with like the owner for that property. But we know the end of this story, so this is like actually like before this was like in the deliberation process. So we know that actually the Sugar House community organized, and then the council decided to not put the homeless shelter in that area, so it went into another area where there was like not opposition. So something for your consideration in the discussion. Oftentimes there's neighborhoods that are higher income, that have more access to lawyers, and that might be more engaged in the political system already. They are able to fight developments like this. So they're very strong in not in my backyard movements, while other neighborhoods that tend to be lower income, that are not so active in the political process, they are the ones that oftentimes end up the what is called like not desirable land uses. So that's for something for you to consider. I also want you to consider this idea of there was a gentleman that says, not like we don't care about homeless people, but it's just that we care about our homes. So the idea of like different competing values and how that plays into these like NIMBY sentiments. So you can find more information in the Planning Division website, which you have explored before. There's a precise link, and you will be using this for your discussion. And in your discussion, what I want you to do is like look at some comments. You can look just a few pages, there's like tons of comments, but just read a few pages and discuss what were the people most concerned about, and answer the question if in the discussion of what you think if this development will not go through compared to the violin common developments. And do you think that there might be a difference in the number of people that oppose? So maybe that's like one of the differences. In the violent case, not that many people. In this case, a lot of people. Maybe that's different in the neighborhood. Maybe Central City is a lower income neighborhood compared to Sugar House. One has like a lot of concentration already of like affordable housing or low income housing, and the other one is more upper class. And the homeless resource centers in Sugar House was a project that it was sponsored by the city. Both of the projects were in a way sponsored by the city, because in the Violent Commons the city have public lands that they were going to give to a developer, but the developer ultimately was going to build that site. In this case, like, it was a process that the city was leading from the beginning. The homeless resource centers, it could have, because it was so city-led, a lot of backfire for Mayor Biskupski and for the council. So maybe the politicians were concerned about what would be the outcome and the perception of the public. So maybe you have homeless individuals who do not vote, and this homeowners does. So this is just like for you to reflect on the different powers and interests of why something might have been a decision would have been retracted. And so again, like, do you think that the city stopped pursuing the HRC or homeless resource centers in Sugar House because they don't want to take any heat, or because they truly value participation? Maybe you think, well, no, they were really listening to the community and the community didn't like it there, so the best decision was to actually say that the homeless resource center was not going to be there and it was going to be in another location. So I just wanted to reflect in these questions. There's no like right or wrong answer. You just need to present different perspectives and give it some thought, because you will find this working as a planner.